Alright everybody, what's going on? Millerkiller310 back here with another video, man. But before I hop into today's meat and potatoes of the video, go ahead, hit that like. This helps get that video pushed out to everybody, and everyone can leave a comment down below, which is something you should be doing. I really appreciate that. And then hitting that subscribe also helps me grow the channel. We are close to 700, so let's get that rolling, shall we? But let's hop right into it. So as Season 3 is coming to its very fortunate close, Season 4 for Black Ops 6 is upon us, and it's been quite apparent that here recently, Call of Duty just has not been taking care of the massive franchise that they have built from massive amounts of fan love throughout the years and through many great games like Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, World at War, Black Ops 2, just to name a few. Right, we are coming up on what I think is very apparently obvious within the Call of Duty community, and that is it's not working out anymore. I think for the most part, players have become extremely fatigued with what has been happening in the Call of Duty community. A new game comes out, it's very, damaged, it's very destroyed, it's choppy, it's not just a good release, and then they sit here and then instead of fixing the game, they throw in a bunch of bundles, and then they turn around and say, well, here's this for you. We'll start fixing the game next year when we release the game, for next year's Call of Duty with all the fixes you guys have been asking for, which has been a very obvious thing that they have been doing. It seems that ever since 2019, the main goal here for Call of Duty was to release a game rather than fix it. And it's very abundantly clear as well that these hot fixes are not working anymore. If we look at the Steam charts here, we can see that not many people are playing Call of Duty anymore, and apparently this is not just happening across Steam, so take this as for what you will, but console is also losing just as, I want to say the same amount, so that's about, what, 1/3, close to 1/4 of the community is now gone, right? And it's been very clear that ever since Verdansk, that it was going to be what I call a nostalgia hotfix. A hotfix where essentially they just say, we're not going to focus on any of the other problems in the game, but we'll release Verdansk, and that should fix everything, right? And unfortunately, as you can see, the Verdansk nostalgia and all that is starting to wear off, and players are finally starting to see through it again. It's like in the very beginning stages that camo grinding, unfortunately, just, takes up most of your thought process on the game, and then as soon as you start playing it and trying to play it for what it really is, you just don't have fun anymore. Not to mention, man, with all the, quote, concurrent players across all platforms, it's not just across all platforms, man. This is across numerous games spanning all the way to 2019 and up, man. It's just not looking good. Call of Duty is losing massive amounts of players in terms of these numbers, man, and they just cannot handle it. And with Season 4 on the horizon, I only speculate it's only going to do more damage because simply they don't know how to do a quality control on their own game. Rather, they know how to monopolize and prioritize bundle spending. Rather than fixing a game, that is their main goal. Again, with Warzone Mobile now getting shut down due to the fact that they couldn't meet their retention and quota in terms of money, it's obviously showing that we're getting into a point where Call of Duty just doesn't know what they're doing anymore, and it's all about the money. It's not about anything. It's not about having fun. It's not about players getting what they want. It's not about having a good experience. It's about them taking and just absolutely draining our pockets for every last penny until they throw us to the curb and say, well, we've drained you dry. Next one up, please. Essentially is what they're doing. And with Season 4 on the horizon, I feel that it's only going to do that even more, and that it's only going to push more and more players away. If we look back in the day, paid DLCs were probably some of the best things to have ever happened to Call of Duty because players could opt out to buy them, or they could choose to buy them and just have some additional content to play on these, new maps, and a lot of them could have been remakes and remasters, whatnot. Hey, that's fine. Now we're in an era where Call of Duty just kind of forces all that out and just says, just buy the bundles and we'll call it even. That's not the point anymore. What's also getting a lot of players fatigued, especially with Season 4 coming up, is the crank up in skill-based matchmaking. I've talked about that before. It's I'll put a link down to it in my description. But essentially, with, skill-based matchmaking being cranked up, and, the gameplay you're seeing in the background is Modern Warfare 3, but what you may not know is that they're starting to crank up the SBMM in these older games as well, and they're starting to turn it back on because of the lack of players in Black Ops 6. That's my only speculation, but I can probably say that's probably why. They want to crank up the SBMM so that when you go and play those games, you don't enjoy it and go hop right back into Black Ops 6. I have been finding tons of lobbies where just a buttload of people are just sweating to no ends and no degree. But here we are. We're moving up into the totem pole of just showing how bad Activision is a company is, and how a $1 trillion company, trillion with a T, simply cannot control their game and cannot do quality control on their own products that they release to the public. It's so bad to this point that we're starting to see just players of the long-term franchise just deciding to leave, and that is simply getting Activision worried. And I think as of next year's Call of Duty, for Call of Duty 2025, it may have brought a lot of fear to the table for them, which is exactly what happened with Modern Warfare 2, which is why I think Modern Warfare 2 is not a bad game. They knew they had to buckle down and lock the fuck in to actually produce a semi-decent title, but in my opinion, I think Modern Warfare 2 is actually very decent for a Call of Duty game. But with all that fear on the table, the real question that I have for y'all today is, do you think Call of Duty 2025 is going to be good, or is it going to be a yet another letdown? Please let me know down in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you for today. But other than that, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Not. It's